Hello, everyone. We are live at Silver Sirens Hangout, and we're talking about the Privateer series from Provident Metals. Although it seems like that series makes its way to APMEX, and I don't know if any other um, dealers carry them or not. Of course, you see them on the secondary market, but we're in the third one that's released is the Captain. We were talking about the design of each of the different ones. I only got the first one, but some people like them, others don't. Silver Siren doesn't like them, um, and I think the design of the Siren and the third one, the Captain, wasn't a huge fan of those two, so I didn't get them. What do you all think about them?
Well, I'm a big guppy. I bought them all.
Cool. All right.
I didn't buy a lot of them, but I did buy them. It's still 2 ounces of silver.
That's true. That's true.
I quite like the look of them just because they were the 2 ounce rounds and they look quite chunky. They look quite nice, but I haven't got any of them.
Yeah, I mean, I like that aspect, and that seems to be sort of the trend, is a 2 ounce high relief. And I think Silver Sound was mentioning how they're expensive and they're overpriced. I think part of that is due to the process that it takes to make them high relief like that. That's quite a lot of pressure on the dies. What I don't like is the rim is so high, almost too high on them. To me, that kind of takes away from I don't know, that's just a personal aesthetic that I don't really get into how they made the rim that high. I know you needed high to stack them, but
does it also protect the actual image, like the design as well?
right, to stack them to protect the design.
Because you always get that on all the circulated stuff that was made with high relief, like peace dollars or things like that, where the sort of the high relief can be detrimental. You know, if it's going to be a circulation coin or something like that. I know these aren't going to be, but it can protect it quite a lot.
Right.
What is the new design?
The new one's the Captain, and they're very detailed and well sculpted. But the problem with the Captain, in my view, is the legs seem really thick and kind of long and disproportionate to the body, and the head is even less proportionate, and it's almost looks like it's somebody hit him with a meat cleaver.
I've just looked it up, and yeah, I think it looks like a movie poster for Pirates of the Caribbean's Dead Man's Chest. You got the chest in the background, and
right, yeah.
Is that a coconut on the floor or a shell or something?
I think so. I'm not looking at it right now, but
it does look pretty cool. But it's just, I think was it the first one which had the ship on it? Because that's the one that I saw the most of, and I like that one quite a lot.
Right, yeah, I like that one. That was pretty cool. And you know, the idea of the Captain is kind of neat, but I think some of the disproportionality of it was kind of the turn off to me. It's like the detail is great in it, but I think they could have done a little better, you know, with getting the proportions right.
Well, I suppose you have to remember that, you know, in that period they'd have all had rickets and growth disorders, so maybe it's pretty accurate.
Well, yeah, but I mean, well, and that's true. That's part of the reason why I think his legs look so big. And you know, either he's got edema, you know, why not give him a peg leg, you know?
Yeah,
but either that, he's got edema, and especially those thighs are thunder thighs. He must be doing the Jane Fonda workout or the Suzanne Summers workout or something. I don't know. Arr, matey. Give me Suzanne Summers workout there, matey. Ahoy there, let's go to Hardee's. Pick up a hamburger.
So what were you thinking about the markets this weekend when they open? Because they open soon for you guys, don't they? But you've had a lot of snow.
Yeah, they open in a couple hours, 6 p.m. Eastern time here, and I think they'll either stay steady or maybe drop a little bit. Um, it's it depends what the Asian markets do, obviously. Um, Silver Siren says it's getting close to the Chinese New Year, so they may slow down and steady off in the east there. Maybe dip down,
Yeah,
but it's. I think it's going to be volatile. Where they'll go up and down over the next couple weeks, probably.
I think the markets will go up and down a bit, but I think these things like silver and gold are always seen as a good bet, and they'll sort of have a little bit of a dip, but overall go up. And I think the Chinese New Year, because you've got Chinese New Year, which is sort of like a 2 week sort of period in China. There's a lot of
Right,
celebrations over an extended period, and then you've got Tet in Vietnam and Thailand, Laos, and Cambodia, and all those sorts of places have got New Year's at the same time. So you see that whole sort of area have a bit of time off.
right. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it's certainly that has an effect, obviously, on the markets.
I think the biggest effect it has is, the price of fireworks definitely shoots up. Because I was in China a few years ago for New Year, and I think that they issue about 7 to 10-year-olds. They issue them all every night as many firecrackers as they can walk away with, and then they set
Wow.
them off for the entire night.
Right, right. Well, and I was going to say the reason why I thought they would affect the actual markets is in keeping them steady and stable. Usually, what's quiet over a big holiday like the Christmas holiday here, the markets tend to stay stable or steady, or not a whole lot going on, unless there's some big geopolitical activity that happens. Let's say, I don't know, Russia totally invades Ukraine or something like that. Unless you see something like that, the markets will probably stay pretty stagnant. I would guess. I could be wrong though.
No, I think I'd agree with you. I mean, I think it's interesting at the moment. I read something or heard something the other week that was saying that the Chinese central bank has been having, because China's three zones for currency. So um, the you've got the yuan, which is the main currency in China. You've got the batak in Macau, and you've got the Hong Kong dollar. And the rumor was that the Chinese central bank is getting the banks in Hong Kong and Macau to buy yuan currency to prop currency up slightly to try and sort of take the edge off it. Because they had to withdraw the controls on the stock market the other week as well, which was a bit of a back down.
Right. Yeah. Oh, changing the subject a little bit. I am Gogi is telling me to stop knocking privateers because some of the crap I open is much worse. Well, he doesn't like any of my videos. He said in a previous comment he doesn't like any of my videos, so there's no pleasing him anyway. I wasn't knocking the privateer. There's some of the designs I don't like, but others, I do like the original, but I probably won't collect the series. You have to pick and choose which series of coins you like.
Oh, so that's my problem.
You just collect them all, huh?
Collect as many as I can. Yeah.
There you go. Well, hey, no, I mean, I collect what I like generally, and what I can afford. Speaking of that, the Proof U.S. Platinum Eagle for 2015. I almost got it, but I couldn't afford it. But boy, that would have been a good one, numismatically to pick up, with a limited mintage of 4,000 and the like. But platinum as a metal, though, is really going down in price. But the premiums are widening with it, and it's really really amazing. Platinum is really an interesting metal because it's an investment grade metal, and it has been for a while. But really, if you think about it, how many people really trade in platinum? How many people? It's a very odd entity in that regard.
I've got no line to my name. Fucking microphone that quite clearly doesn't work. So annoying.
You're
What's
back
that?
in.
We heard him, now he's gone. Oh well. But
Yep.
anyway, Silver and Siren says it's not hoarded the way gold is. It's one of those things where platinum is, it doesn't have the same, and it's also more plentiful than gold. People don't realize that.
I suppose you never had it never really caught the imagination of the population, did it? Like gold and silver.
Right.
Gold and silver, you had gold and silver rushes. You didn't really have big platinum rushes. So I think the places that it's found are pretty. What is it? Russia. There's a few other places, South America.
South Africa, and Russia, I think, are the two largest producers.
But you sort of have that image of a gold rush, especially from the American West.
Right.
It's that big thing, and where you got gold, you got silver as well. But and it was always, gold and silver was always used for money.
That's
For
right.
thousands of years, whereas platinum was at some point, but it's never really had that. It's never really caught on in the same way, and it does have value, but it's probably got more so in the last few years. Say a couple of hundred, but
Yep, exactly. It's never really caught on. I mean, I remember when platinum was really high in price, and in fact, I remember buying an ounce back in the '90s for $345, and the place that I bought it from, every time I go back in there, he says, "Hey, let me buy that ounce of platinum back from you," and I never really understood why. And he said, "Well, I'll give you more than spot for it," and then it climbed up to $2,000 an ounce. And he was still asking me to buy it from him, and it was the only ounce of platinum I had at the time, and I just wanted to keep it because it was kind of neat. But it's just one of those metals that's kind of on that seesaw tottering between, being regarded as it is a precious metal. It's a noble metals, but it's not really sought after or hoarded like gold is. And now rhodium is coming into the investment community by one company out of Britain called Baird. And Silver Siren posted a video showing this ounce of rhodium that I was actually, when I saw her video, I was already contemplating buying because I had seen this bar, but it was the first video I had seen on it. It's like once I saw her video, I knew I needed to grab one of those just to say I had one, because rhodium got to $10,000 an ounce at one time.
yeah, Baird are they're a pretty well established British sort of dealer. They've been going for years. They do quite good deals, but they're quite you can't buy anything with a credit card. It's like you have to go and make a bank transfer or send them a check. It's like everything's at one remove. So if you want something instantly, it's quite they're not the easiest to deal with.
Who was that? Sorry.
Beds, yeah, I think their website's called goldline.co.uk or something like that.
Oh, I've never seen that. I normally order from Atkinson's.
Yeah, Atkinson's are good, yeah.
I tried that
these
bully in
guys-
the UK. I don't know if you saw my video, man. I got 2 coloured coins. That sort of little cats on them. Mate, it was absolutely terrible. Honestly, they were really nice about it. Don't get me wrong. The customer service was great, but the coins were absolutely terrible.
Oh, right, okay.
Well, they were in like little plastic wallets, and I took them out obviously to make a video. When I took them out of the plastic wallets, they must have cleaned them with some solution and put them back in the wallets. As soon as we took them out, it took all the coloration off the coins straight away. I mean, I'm not really into coloured coins, but they were cheap, so yeah, took the colour straight off the coins, both of them.
All right, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, they were good, don't get me wrong, but like, the customer service was good, but the coins were terrible.
The only time I've really dealt with the Atkinsons is when I like drive a lot around the UK for work, and I went into their shop because it's near it's just off the M6.
Yeah, Birmingham way, isn't
So
it?
yeah, it's I want to say Sutton Coldfield, but it's not Sutton Coldfield. It's like somewhere around there between Sutton
Yeah,
Coldfield and
there or thereabouts.
but I went into their shop anyway and sat down. And it's it's quite a nice shop, and dealt with Mr. Atkinson himself, and he sat down and showed me some different coins that he had in stock at the time. We had a bit of a chat about them, and I bought a $10 gold eagle off him,
Oh yeah.
one of the old ones, for like 1880. 'Cause he had a bunch of them in stock at the time. It's few years ago now, but yeah, it's really good. Just I was just buying one thing off him, so I haven't really got a long term like opinion on him.
You should try HES Bullion as well. HES Bullion are really good.
Oh, okay. I've used a few in the UK. So I've used beds. They do a lot of like press bars and that kind of thing, gold, silver, whatever you want. Shards in Blackpool, they're pretty cool. I've used them a few times.
Oh, I
Um,
didn't know that. Someone in
they
black.
they moved their offices or whatever. They've got two showrooms. The gold ones, like the new Mystic side of the business, is like by appointment, but it's a pretty good it's a pretty good experience. But like like I imagine sort of like an old school kind of jewelers would be. You sort of go through the door and
Yeah.
sit down. You have your appointment in the little room. You know, like a bit one of those things you see in films with a Swiss bank.
Yeah,
That
we
kind of thing.
that HES Bullion was the same. You had to go through one like bolted door, then they would close that door and then open the second door for you to actually get into ATS. And then you
Yeah.
sit down at a desk and they bring out all the coins and all the bars and stuff. The good thing about ATS Bullion is because they buy it off other people, like 50% of their stock they buy off other people, they don't charge you a premium. So that Valcombi bar I brought, I didn't pay any premium on that at all. I just paid, I think I paid like 30 if I could have a spot for that,
That's not bad.
which is not bad. You know what I mean? If you're going to buy a Valcombi bar, you're going to be paying silver or gold. You're going to be paying a premium on that. HS, they're good, man. They're really good. They're in London. Yeah, they're good. You should try them out.
Yeah, I
Like,
go to London occasionally, and I just sort of like run in, run out with work. But
they're
occasionally I do
good,
get a
man.
chance to like wander around the
Yeah.
city. So
Well, the thing is that their prices online are really expensive in comparison to Atkinson's. They are really expensive. When you go and see them direct, if you
oh
do,
yeah,
there's a geezer called Michael in there. I can send you his email if you want. The guy's absolutely
yeah.
sound.
Yeah.
He always knocks money off, always.
That was the experience I had with Atkinson's as well. If you're there, because they include postage for free. There's a little, there's some stuff they can sort of take out of the price. It's pretty good.
Yeah, especially
And
if you're collecting it from them. Why not?
yeah, yeah. And trying to think of who else I've used. It's a bit like that in the past, but um,
Well, I normally order online, to be fair, just from Atkinson's because it's the cheapest. But I mean, I had a good experience with that Silver to Go the other day. I don't know if you ever ordered from them.
no, I watch if you watch Irish Silverstack's videos, he orders stuff off Silver to Go and Bullion Rock, and I think
Yeah,
they're
I've heard about Bullion Rock as well, to be fair. But it's still like the VAT that you got to pay in silver over in the UK is just ridiculous.
the VAT kills it for me. I buy all mine second hand because I just don't want to pay the VAT on it. It annoys the
Do you,
crap out of
do you get it from eBay?
me. No, generally I get it from this local coin shop that I use that's over in Liverpool, and
Oh, yeah.
there's also what's it called, like coin auctions locally as well. So
Yeah, that's the trouble.
yeah,
Like where I live, there's not really any of that sort of stuff. I mean, I did only 27 ounces to be fair, nothing major. 27 ounces of silver from Silver to Go, and that came, no joke, within 3 days.
that's pretty good.
3 days. I mean, one of my bloke I used to work with, one of my staff members, and I was the store manager at EE. He ordered, I think it was 30 ounces from Atlantis Mint, and it took over a month to come, as you would expect. Don't get me wrong. But from Silver to Go, mate, 3 days. It's unbelievable.
Whereabouts in the UK do you live?
I live near Reading,
Oh right, okay.
kind of. I live in Newbury, so it's kind of, yeah, it's about 20 minutes from Reading.
Yeah, there's not not much that I know around there.
No, there's nothing around here. There's only pubs and bowling alleys. That's about it.
Oh, well, drunken bowling. I mean, it's the pastime of
I mean,
everyone.
I can't complain because it's not like I'm drinking now, but still. No, it's good. Honestly, ATS spinning is really good, and if you want to get some silver, silver to go, man. But I suppose if you do get hit with a VAT, it doesn't really make much difference, does it really?
Yeah, I suppose.
That's what I was thinking. If I get hit with a VAT, so be it. I'm gonna have to pay that in the UK anyway. So
I think you only get hit with it. You don't actually get hit with it like when you buy it, do you? You only get hit with it if they see it when you bring it into the country.
yeah, I think it's when it goes through customs, isn't it? You get hit with a VAT. But
Yeah, and they don't always catch them, so it's,
well, no, I'm certainly going to order more from there at some point. Even though I don't really like silver, to be honest. But
I mean, the reason we don't have VAT on gold is only because we joined Europe. I find that quite funny.
so why are we paying 20% on silver?
Apparently, somebody did tell me about this in detail at one point, but apparently we used to charge. We were going to put it onto gold. You know, when we introduced VAT, gold and silver because they're a luxury item. And then there's some EU directive, something to do with like moving gold around Europe, that meant that they couldn't put it on gold, so they had to leave it off. But silver got it because it's a luxury item. You know, along with when they introduced the VAT under whenever it was introduced, like 15, 20 years ago.
What's ridiculous? Like you look at a coin you get from Atkinson's, it's like 18 quid. Silver to go, I was paying what 11.96, I think it was.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you know, not the best coins in the world, you know, no graded coins or anything, just pure bullion, but it was still good.
I've got a trip to the Isle of Man coming up for work, so I'm going to see if they charge it in the Isle of Man or not, because they're coming onto the same system as the UK in the next couple of years, but it's all like staggered. So I'm just going to try and find out if it's still like going into Europe or not.
Yeah, cash in, why not?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, damn right.
Some of the Jersey ones, I think Bullion Rock's in Jersey or Guernsey. So I'm wondering if you can do it with the Pobjoy Mint in the Isle of Man, and just like if they've got like a shop or something.
It's weird though, isn't it? I don't understand. If you were to walk into a shop, well, I suppose it's face to face, isn't it? If they don't want to save you an extra money, they won't do it. So it's up to them, isn't it? I suppose it's a bit different online. You got the paper trail, haven't you?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it's a bit of a jip, really. I think we're done over a little bit in the old UK, aren't we? Really.
It's we're a bit sort of like an island nation, and we always will be.
Yeah, that's what it kind of makes me just want to stack gold, because I just don't want to pay 20% VAT.
I do it every time. I stick a tube of Eagles or a tube of Britannias or something into the basket.
And you think, nah.
I stick like some gold in there, and I'm just like, I just don't want to pay the tax. I just don't want to pay the tax on it. I just don't want to do it.
Well, it worked out when I got them 27 ounces. It worked out. If I'd have done that on Atkinson's, I would have got around about 20. So I got 7 ounces, effectively. Obviously not for free, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
7 ounces more than what I would have got in the UK, and that's just ridiculous. You don't mind it for an ounce or two, but for 7 ounces, different ball game. It's a different ball game. But I don't think we'll ever get to older Silver Slackers amount.
No.
Mate, his videos are just insane, aren't they?
Yeah, it's mine are sort of like every now and again, but little bits and pieces. Some people have been putting up full stat videos since the new year that are just like amazing amounts.
I did a full stat video, mate, of 180 grams of gold, and he's doing like 7,000 ounces of silver. I'm like, oh, fair enough. I just won't even bother. What's the point? It's not even worth it, is it? You know what I mean? I had 27 ounces of silver, though, to be fair.
I even picked up some So like, because my stuff's usually like old circulated stuff, or you know, some gold like sovereigns, but I have picked up some silver recently, but I'm still waiting for it to arrive. But
What'd you
again, I
buy?
picked it up out. Sorry.
What'd you buy?
I got some pressed silver bars, some Johnson Matthey,
Oh yeah.
but they're like older ones from like I think they're from the 70s or 80s. But I bought them at an auction. I'm just waiting for them to arrive, so it's a bit of a last minute jump on, go. Oh yeah, I'll have a go at that.
Oh, why not? You know, the Johnson Matthey bars could be quite nice. I bought that 20 gram Johnson Matthey bar from ATS, and when I put it on YouTube, everyone's like, "That's really like you know what I mean? That's really really rare." But I still don't know what to do with it. I think I might sell it, but I don't know yet.
Yeah, I bought one just because I thought it looked cool, and it was
Yeah.
like an Indian two tola bar, which I think was about an ounce and a half or something.
Yeah, what's that? Is that 30? Yeah, it's an ounce, isn't it? A tola's
An ounce
15.55, isn't it?
I'm not sure. I mean, I weighed it afterwards, and I think it was about an ounce and a half or 2 ounces or something. But I can't remember. But it was. I bought it for like pretty much spot because it was in the local coin shop, and it'd come in like a box of stuff, and the guy was just like, yeah, you can have that. Because I buy a lot of stuff off him, and he just gave it to me. So I looked it up when I got back anyway, and it was like, these are usually like there's a real premium attached to him because there's not that many of them and all this kind of thing. I was like, oh, all right. But I've kept it because I like it. I bought it for that reason. I quite liked it. I wanted a bit of variety with my silver bars, you know.
That's what I keep saying. I've been saying for probably, I think I bought that 6 months ago, that bar. I keep saying, oh yeah, I'll sell it next week. I'll sell it next week. I just can't bring myself to do it. I just can't do it. Is it JM Inglehart, the lady on there?
Wait, I've got some Engelhart bars. They're pretty cool as well.
Yeah, there's a YouTuber, JM Inglehart. She's
Oh, right,
actually really
okay.
nice, to be fair. She's a really nice lady. She was saying that she's never ever seen that bar in her life, and that's pretty much all she collects is Inglehart bars. She's like, I've never seen that. You should sell it. I don't know.
Yeah, you sort of want to keep hold of them, don't you? You sort of think, oh, I'll keep a few of those.
Well, it's weird because I remember like the first time I started stacking, I was like, right, I'm just gonna buy. I don't care what the bar is, as long as I get as much gold as I can for my money to invest. Because me and my fiance do it for when we're gonna buy a house. So, but now like it's coming into play. I'm sort of buying coins and stuff, and I don't think I'd ever do that really.
Well, there was somebody did a video recently, and I think it was one of the preppers channels. I can't remember who it was, but they had like loads of different bars they picked up, and it was just a sheer variety of like all the different rounds and bars from the US, from like the 70s and 80s, like loads of different mints and loads of different like generic rounds. But they all
Yeah.
looked really cool, and I was like, you just don't get the same variety over here as easily.
No, and I think you could be collecting stickers or whatever. You could be collecting anything that's not really going to give you any monetary value at the end of it. At least if you're collecting gold and silver, irrelevant if you pay a premium on it, at least you're actually investing money into yourself.
Yeah.
If you pay more money for A rather than B, you're still investing that money into your stack.
Yeah, there's still worst case a residual value even if you make a
Yeah,
mistake, isn't there?
exactly. You can go and put alloys on your car or, the exhaust pipe that the kids like to do, or you could get some gold or silver. I know what I'd rather do.
I'm trying to find that video. It was a really good one, and I can't remember who did it.
Um,
I think it was part-time preppers, but
I don't know. I'm not really subscribed to many people, to be honest. I'm only really subscribed to sort of the mainstream people, really. I try and subscribe to as many people as I can, but I don't really get on YouTube that often. As I said to Salaway earlier, I only put like a video up every month or two. I just can't afford to stack every month. It's difficult,
here's
isn't
one
it?
for you though. If you had one over the last say like couple of months where anyone who comments on your video is really weird. Like Stock Jockey usually comments first on my videos. Like he's done a few where he said first on them. But I'd sort of like, give him a thumbs up and say hello and thanks for watching. And then I'd go back later and it moved it into like the waiting for approval comments.
Yeah, the comments that might be spam.
Yeah, but it was weird because you've already sort of like interacted with it, and it was sort of like you go back and it'd be comments you'd done like 3 or 4 days ago are going to spam, or you haven't seen them and they've moved them into spam. It seems like it's gone a bit weird recently.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. I normally get the comments on my phone, and then I'll reply, obviously, and then when I go back on the actual computer, it will say that it's spam.
Yeah, YouTube has really been screwed up lately with that spam, and a lot of, if you post a link to another video or any link at all, it automatically puts it in spam, even if you've been interacting with that person on your videos for years. And like you were saying before, you can be you can see a comment come through and you can respond to it, and it will still put it into the spam folder. What I've found is that when I'm responding to comments, and I try to respond to almost every comment that I can, is when they come out of that spam folder and back into when you approve them, some of those you can't respond to. It won't let you respond to them.
Yeah.
You type the whole response out, press enter, and nothing happens.
Right.
Yeah, I've had the same.
It's really a bad, annoying thing. But the good news is at least potentially good news, is that an acquaintance of mine just got hired for YouTube. I don't know where he's going to be working in YouTube, and I don't speak to him very often, but I speak to his father, and I may try to pass along some of these tips that we're experiencing, depending on what portion of YouTube, because I think they have different groups of people working on different portions of the program. There's some people work on messages, some people work on comments, that type of thing.
Yeah, it makes sense. I interact with Microsoft quite a lot, and they can be the same. If you get the right person in the right team,
right?
You kind of lie.
It's worth saying, isn't it? Why not? If nothing happens, then so be it. But it's worth actually saying something because it is annoying. People take the time out to watch your videos, and then you can't even comment back to them. It's a bit,
right?
Well, it was also the first few times it happened. I didn't notice it for a few days. You don't normally, normally they just say 0, and I just hadn't noticed. So there was like 3 or 4 people that put comments on that, I had to sort of say, oh, sorry, it got tagged as spam,
Right. Yep. Hello, Seattle. We got NAPC in the house. We got Silver Hustling 13 in the house.
What's up, kids?
And yeah, hello, NAPC. What's up, kids? That's his trademark.
What's up, kids?
What's happening?
What's happening? The Silver Hustling 13.
Digging out of the snow.
Getting out of the snow. You got some snow there in Peru, eh? All right.
Yeah, a little bit. Silver Man just joined.
Hello, Silver Man.
Hello, everyone.
It's amazing how many YouTubers have silver in their names,
I was just thinking that.
It's silver is quite a metal.
Really.
What's that?
I suppose it should change it, really, but I can't be bothered now.
Oh no, it's all good. It's and that's the thing. Silver. Some people call silver the poor man's gold, but silver, in spite of its plentiful and its low price right now, there's just a beauty about it. Like, look at your avatar there, the death dealer. To be able to shape it like that and to really make it pristine, there's something about silver that just shine. It just shines. And we were talking about platinum earlier, And silver is much more beautiful than platinum, in my opinion. It just there's something. It's so reflective, and it's just an amazing metal. Just for the physical properties of it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. It's amazing. It is beautiful materials actually, just to behold even,
Right.
let alone manage to work with.
And
I mean,
gold is beautiful too. And gold, I was watching something that talked about King Tut's mask and how it, when they found it was like it was brand new, and it doesn't tarnish. I mean, silver tarnishes, but still, silver does have this beauty about it that, in its purest form, it's just, it really shines. It's just a beautiful metal.
Well, I mean, I caught the conversation earlier on about rhodium, and I've just been looking at one of the charts here, and your numbers was right. It did go at peak up to about $2,500 in 2011. And I was thinking of buying some rhodium a while ago, but and I forgot about it completely. I thought I'd just stick to silver. I always do.
I understand. And honestly, the reason why I get some of those other metals is just so I can say I have an example of them. I'd love to get some iridium. I'd like to get some osmium.
Totally.
But I think one thing about the various different metals that are in investment, quote, I use that term just because that's what it's named, an investment metal form. In other words, an assay cards and the like. And you can get silver, gold, platinum, palladium, and now rhodium from Baird is the only company that makes rhodium in those bars. But I don't think you can get rhodium coins yet, or bullion coins or rounds. But
I've already seen it in bars myself as well. I mean, I did research it a while ago. But I mean, why do you think that it was such a jump in the price 5 years ago?
Oh, with rhodium, I think it's because the reason why it got so high before, I heard something about that there was I think Russia maybe or South Africa that they weren't producing or something for a certain year, and they stopped production, and so it just drove the price up. And see, when you have limited supply of something and it just cuts off and there's very little of it, that you're going to get those types of things. Rhodium is basically essentially only used in jewelry for the most part.
Oh, right. I thought it was an industrial metal.
There is some industrial, but I think it's mainly used as in jewelry in its pure form. In the industry, it's used to harden other metals, I believe.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, it'd be certainly nice to pick some up. I mean, but then again, I always kind of like make these kind of nice ideas, but I always end up buying silver.
Yeah, I understand. If you want to get a little rhodium, Provident Metals has a 10th ounce bar for $135 on their site now.
That's not too bad. That's pretty good, actually. Just to have some, isn't it?
Yeah, just to have some.
I'm gonna research it a bit more because it might
And
be
by
well.
the way, Silver Siren, you may be interested in this. Provident Metals has a 1 ounce rhodium bar for $800 and some dollars. And we paid, each of us paid about $1,100 for our bar.
$700.
$800.
$800. Yeah, I'm in the UK, so I'm just gonna work out what the difference would be.
Yeah. Silver Hustlin' 13 Hearts, $109 slab gold pandas. I do too. I got mine, and they're 2015s like his.
Did you get 15?
Yeah, I got 15 as well.
Sweet.
I'll post the video sometime next week.
Yeah, I will as well.
Those are sweet. That's a sweet deal. That's probably the deal of the year there.
To date, I would say so.
And it's really amazing coming from a company that I really don't like to do business with. But hey, gold at spot Slabs, I'll take it
all day.
every day, or at least on Mondays and Wednesdays at between the hours of 4 and 7. Seattle tapped into his dark passenger on that eBay listing that
Yeah,
he did a video on. That was pretty cool.
yeah. I was checking out the 2015s. Just reverse boost. It's kind of slowed down. I mean, as far as it's reached this peak. A peak of 14 to 1800 was pretty much the recent peak. I mean, there could be more down the line, a few years, 4 or 5 years from now, but for now, I think that peak of selling those 2015s graded 70s are pretty much halved. You're looking anywhere between $700 to $800 for a 70 whole set. I was hoping to catch that one at 459. I said, that's a pretty good deal, but
Right, right. Yeah, that would have been a great deal if you could have done it, but somebody sniped you at the end there, and
yeah. Well, the mysterious thing was is that after that, I would say that would be a bit conspiratorial would be that another one was listed immediately after that for 1350
wow.
by the same eBayer. So it's like. I don't know if it was just lack of enthusiasm or people looking for them, or because I do know that there are some people who use boosters to set, put in bids to get a certain price point. I'm aware that does happen.
Right,
Um,
right.
so a little weird, but sometimes that does happen. But who would pay eight? I mean, there's somebody that was sitting there at 850 to protect the low. Somebody may have came in and actually.
I really enjoyed that video. I thought it was really good. We've all sat there on eBay where it's you thinking, oh, it's well below what I'm prepared to give for it. I'll put my bid in, and all of a sudden it just goes boom, and you think, oh no.
Yeah, it shot away. It shot away. There's and the reason why I say that is because there's been some recent sales of them where people are setting them at 650. They set them at about 670, 650, and they bid up maybe $700. You could tell these are just people who are collectors and stuff like that. They're not big vendors or anything, and theirs are only getting 3 to 5 bids on them or 8 bids on them. You see what I'm saying? So seeing that type of traffic and seeing that type of sales going on in a recent period, that tells me that the level of interest is kind of tapered off. But I think ultimately, the ones to have will, and I know there's people that will vehemently disagree with me, but the rarity is really where this is going to settle in at. The ones from AP Mix, there's over 100. I think there's 100 graded 70 that are brown labeled. There's 54 that are blue labeled, and about 100 of those were the AP mix. I'm pretty sure, if not more. There's some 69s running around that were with the AP mix. So ultimately, those don't fit in the boxes, and over time, people are going to lose the boxes. They're going to break. They're going to give away. They're going to throw away. If you have the whole box, you have the cover, the box, and the wood box, the container with the original one sitting in there. About 5 years, those are going to be. I've always thought this. We're going to be the most valuable ones because there's only 500 of them. There's probably only 350 laid around to the date. Most people have already probably either tossed them, lost them, or broken them.
This is why I've always been a fan of OGP, original government packaging, because so many of these sets are being broken up and being sent in for grading, and you see on eBay all the packaging going for sale, but a lot of it's being thrown away as well.
Yeah.
And every time those sets are broken apart and they're thrown away, it just ups the value of others,
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm seeing too. I really believe that in about another 3 to 4 years, you'll see that whoever's got the OGP are going to be far ahead of those who don't. That's why
Right.
I never sent any of mine in to get graded.
Yep.
Because I mean, I'm talking about 70s from MGC alone. I think it's like 154. I think is
Yep.
the number. Not counting the
I'll give you another
69s.
example of this. The you may not remember. It's been a while since I posted this video, but I did an unboxing of the 2012 Ultra High Relief Dragon Gold, and I had a choice of getting a graded version of 69 for about the same price, and actually about a week after I made my purchase, the 70s were going for the same price, but I went ahead and got, because I wanted to get the original packaging because I didn't know if the graded one was going to have the packaging with it anyway, and plus I'm not a big fan of the modern coin grading anyway. But I get this thing in the mail and notice other unboxings of people that bought the graded versions and they didn't get all the packaging. They got the certificate, but they didn't get the uh, they didn't get the I don't think they got the original box. I think there was some stuff that was left out that they didn't have. And who knows what happened to those boxes, but there's only 388 of these. And I think I'm the only one that I've seen on YouTube that has the raw coin.
Coin with all the packaging on GP. Yeah.
Right.
At some point that becomes an issue.
Right.
It always does. You know, with a collector, it becomes an issue. AP Mex came right out the box selling some without the OGP.
Right.
So
Right. Well, they had. I think they had the entire U.S. holdings of those coins. I think that was the only place you could get them at the time.
Yep.
They probably sold all those original packaging to China so they could put fake coins in them.
Yeah, there you go. Well, then see that's an argument for having something graded for authenticity.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to be said for that to make sure that your coin is authentic. But you know, in my view, I think there's other ways to tell if it's something is authentic than paying the premium for a 70 or 69 where there's no difference between the two grades at all.
I don't know as well. There was an example of that recently. Like I collect sovereigns, so I was on the lookout for ages for a 1989 sovereign with the red box of issue, the certificate, and a couple of other bits that came with the box as well. And there was a difference of about £200 to £300 between one that had been graded and one that had been put in, say, a Royal Mint modern issue box, or one that was in the original boxes. And it was the original boxes were about £300 more in some cases. I managed to narrow the gap slightly, but the difference in price, even when you see them at auction now, is quite high. It's enough that it's worth shopping around for them.
Sure. Yeah, that's quite a difference. Amazing. £300.
Yeah, that's a big spread. And it reminds me of that first Nintendo. Someone they sold that thing for like $10,000 for the original box and everything with it.
Wow. Yeah. Pretty amazing.
So I think that's ultimately maybe not on that level, but I think in the next 5-10 years you could see whoever's got the original stuff with it will probably have something that's a bigger winner, even over the 3 coin sets, because there's just more of them.
Right. But honestly, my motivation for getting the original government packaging is not financial or hedging. It's just because I'm sort of a purist when it comes to coins, and I like to get it as it comes from the mint. I like to see it as it was intended in its intended presentation, like the gold, the 2009 ultra high relief gold. There's just something about it in that box and that presentation, that just says something. Same thing with the gold buffalo proofs. The 2009 ultra high relief gold. There's just something about it in that box and that presentation. Echo. Same thing with the gold buffalo proofs. Echo.
LOL.
care, fractional stacker. Shoot, sorry I missed saying goodbye. He left. There's a puppy, a copper puppy in the mix here. Hello. Such a cute puppy.
Hello. Such a cute puppy. Hello.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello?
Hello.
Such a cute puppy. Hello.
I feel bad you guys can hear my.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello?
Hello.
Such a cute puppy. Hello.
I feel bad you guys can hear my.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
But Copper, you have something that's causing an echo, I think.
Hello?
So you might have it open in another tab. And so you might want to close another tab out. His name was Copper the Spaniel. That's pretty clever. A Copper Spaniel. Maybe I think he closed the wrong tab. So NAPC, I love that coin. You've had that as your avatar for quite a while. That freedom, it's really cool. 2009.
That's my favorite coin. I'll never get rid of that. I can't find them anywhere. I'd love to get a gold one, but you just can't find them.
Right. It's a really nice design. What's on the reverse of that piece? Flip it over for us. Oh, you can't because it's your avatar, but that's all right.
Oh, it's one of those scams where they're like kind of like the what's that
Silver bullet, silver shield.
No, before them. Remember there was like the bank that had the
Oh, the Lakota, the Lakota. Yeah.
It's one of those companies that's associated with that.
Okay, right.
But yeah, I don't know when the Lakota Bank thing started happening or whatever, but it same people, I think.
Which I think that's Rob Gray, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not sure.
He was involved in them for a while before he got involved with Chris Dwayne.
Sorry, I'm taping for painting.
You're taping what?
Taping the wall for painting.
Shoot, you broke out on me. I couldn't catch you're taping something, but I didn't get what you were taping.
I'm taping up the wall for painting.
Oh, taping the wall for painting. Okay, wow, okay. Multitasking. Good job.
I'm trying. That's why I haven't been on the last couple of weeks. Been renovating the spare bedroom a bit.
Okay.
So I'm going to paint it and put down flooring and new window coverings and, new closet.
That's a lot of work. Wow.
Yeah, but...
Well, Silver Siren has a question. What impact would a cashless society have on buying and selling precious metals? I think at the beginning, it probably will help make it easier. Just like, like for instance, you can go to JM Bullion and Provident Metals and you can send an electronic check and pay no fees. And that's essentially cashless. And we're practically there every time you use a debit card, every time you use a credit card. And obviously with the advent of Bitcoin and the like and these other cryptocurrencies, which are kind of outside of the system, but regardless, it's all ones and zeros. And I think that I think that maybe the question is what about a traceable cashless society or traceable digital currency, and by all definitions, the very fact that it is digital means it is traceable. So, and us buying those precious metals with it, the government or whoever is gonna know you bought precious metals with it. Like for instance, when I spend an e-check with JM Bullion to get precious metals, it creates a digital stamp. In other words, say, okay, well, he bought this. This is this much, and someone can find out some way. And so, with that being said, somebody's going to know what exactly I got, and could come and get it. And so that's kind of the scary aspect of it. It's not anonymous, whereas Bitcoin and the like are. So I think what's going to happen is as we come into into a cashless society, but every time you write a check, it's kind of the same thing, or use a credit card, is someone will develop a mask to prevent or write a program to hide that, like an IP address, to prevent anybody from looking in on it. I don't know how that would work, and maybe part of the attraction for some of these dealers is to develop a situation like that where your information is secure when you make a purchase. Yeah, with Seattle, this is up his alley. Hey, I think he went up on the Space Needle. Yeah, I think we're already halfway there to a cashless society. I mean, how many people do you know go pay for gas with cash? I'm one of the few. I always use cash as much as I can, but people get direct deposit into their checking accounts to get paid rather than getting an actual physical check. Okay, not so new. Have a good dinner. Take care. Ones and O's. Instead of X's and O's, ones and O's, because we're talking about digital currency. So in the future, when we're in a cashless society, if you want to send a romantic greeting to somebody, instead of sending X's and O's, just send them ones and zeros. In the future, when we're in a cashless society, if you want to send a romantic greeting to somebody, instead of sending X's and O's, just send them ones and zeros.
Oh, great. I'm going to have to hear that again.
Well, I'm being called for dinner as well, ladies and gentlemen. But it was good chatting with you all. I hope you'll have a wonderful evening, and thanks, Silver Siren, for the invite. Multitude of gratitude to you all. Silver Hustling, take care.
Have a good night.
See you, bud.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Now what do we do? Crickets effect. That'll fill some time. Go for it.
Okay, so Mr. Not Like Canadian, what's your favorite point?
Well, since no one else is saying anything, I don't know what everyone else has been buying. Maybe you guys heard this already, but all I've been buying is gold recently. Just picking up 10 pounds of gold every paycheck. So, whatever.
Is anything specific or just
Silver Gold is getting the American Gold Eagles in different sizes other than 1 ounce now. They're still not available at the moment. It says three grand. I'm hoping they're coming. And I'm thinking my spare bedroom. He's telling us that. No. I'm using the Sesame Street color palette for the spare bedroom. So I got what do I got? HD, sunny day, and terrific. Those are the colors. Make here. No, this is a female-oriented room. The other room is boy-oriented, and although it's not zombie related yet, there's probably gonna be something in there. Drama! No, fuck no. I don't know what drama is. Fuck drama. They were screaming socialists. Tell me how you. Hmm. great. Now we got a lawsuit on our hands.
Goodbye, viewers. Out of topics. Looks like it's going to be a short evening. Siren's putting a fork in it. We're all done. We're going to go eat too much and finish watching football. Preach, guys. See you, Siren.